which I think is pretty good. I see a lot of people score higher than me, but at the end of the day, I got to my goals, and that's what's mattered. Now, when I first took the ASVAB, you guys, it's okay. Like, I am not afraid to say I did fail the ASVAB the first time I took it. I failed the ASVAB pretty bad. Okay, it was a low score, and I'm not gonna share the score, but I did fail. Okay, but I know the reason why I failed. I didn't study. I literally went to go take the ASVAB, thinking to myself that it's a simple little high school test. Remind you, I've been out of high school for a while now. Okay, so when I took the ASVAB, I just thought it was gonna be like a easy knock out of the park type of test or whatever. Went there, took it, realized I needed to brush up on a few things. Okay, when I think after you failed the test the first time, you have to wait like 30 days, right? My recruiter came back and was like, okay, hey, it's been 30 days. Are you, ready to take it? Remind you, I was working a full-time job and then try to study at the same time. You do not have to take the test once that 30 days is over. I told him, I was like, hey, I kind of don't want to, not really embarrass myself, but because I don't really care about the whole, like, oh, I failed and everyone's just like looking at me. I don't care about that. Um, but I didn't want to go back and not knowing that I applied myself the second time for it. That makes sense. So what I did this time was I decided to get a tutor. I had Andy Asbab, which is, you can find him on Facebook. Then I had Berlando. Okay, Berlando, if you're watching this, oh my God, amazing tutor. Both are amazing tutors. Okay, so I decided to use both of them because they both offered, two different things and stuff. I'm not really gonna go into detail of who to use and stuff. Whichever two tutors works for you, I would say use them. But I got both. Okay, like I could afford it at the time, so I got both. Now, when I took the ASVAB, right, you guys, you have to make a sacrifice. Okay, when I say you have to make a sacrifice, you have to figure out what's worth it. Okay, I had friends who was like hitting me up every single day, like, oh, let's go hang out, let's go do this, let's go do this. I decided that it wasn't worth it to like hang out with them every single day, knowing that I had a test to like, crunch down and like take. I decided to, let them know like, hey, I'm studying. Not that I got bigger and better things, to do than to hang out with you guys, but I wanted a career. I wanted a career. So I decided to, I decided to not hang out with them as much as I did. If that makes sense. And on top of that, talking on the phone, my phone was glued to my ears. Okay, like I was on the phone 24/7. I, literally would just put my phone on like do not disturb just so I can be able to have time and like study for the test. And on top of that, I was, I changed my diet. I was eating more healthy and stuff because I didn't want to, pack myself with too much sugar. And now I can't focus like when I'm studying. So I changed my diet. I, time to decide for studying and less time for my friends. I look, I was in there, okay? I was drinking hell of water, I was working out. I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and like study. Okay. Remind you, I'm not telling you to wake up at 4. This is the tips that I did, okay? I woke up at 4 in the morning only because I had a assistant living job that I was working at, and it started at 6 o'clock. So I was willing to wake up, prioritizing. I was able to wake up at 4 in the morning, study for about an hour, get dressed like around like 5, hit work like around like 6. Okay, I did that for a month straight. I was locked in. So not only did I do that for like a month straight and stuff, but I was working with both of the tutors and stuff. Started working with Orlando. I purposely I personally like both of them, but I feel like they both have a lot more to offer in certain departments. So when it came to math, everyone's gonna say they don't like math because they can't do math. Okay, You're always gonna say like, oh, I hate science. It's because you don't know science. Or I hate math, or I hate reading. You're only gonna say you hate something when you don't know like what you're doing, if that makes sense, right? So for me, um, when it came to me and stuff, I would say I couldn't stand math. I couldn't stand math because I didn't understand the math. I didn't understand the formulas. I sucked at, multiplication and dividing and all this stuff. I mean, they're both the same. You could do one, you could do the other. So I couldn't do one, so I hated the other. So what I did, I went on YouTube and I found this really, really old lady. And she was basically just showing me how to set up a multiplication table, right? Started with the ones, then the tens cut across, and then you just fill it in, okay? I literally will practice like practice filling it in and would time myself because the test is time. So you don't want to be sitting here like writing everything down, taking that precious time that you don't have, okay? So I would literally time myself and I'm like, all right, I need to be able to create this multiplication table in like 30 seconds. So I would just literally like jot it down until like it was like a piece of cake to do it. And every time I would study online with my tutor, I would be like, hold on, let me prep, let me set my thing up. I set it up like I was going to be taking the test on the computer. So let's say I'm in front of a computer now, right? I'm like, all right, they come, they hand you your pencils, they hand you your paper. I'm like, I'm writing the multiplications things down. I'm writing my formulas down because I didn't want to go on the test and try to remember all my formulas. Like, okay, this and then this is this. Like, no, I literally every time I would like study for the test, I would have a scrap paper. I would write down all my formulas in one corner. I write the multiplication in one corner, and I would just write any little thing that would help me to take the test once I got there, right? So that was one of the tips that really, really helped me out. Once I did that, I learned the formulas and all that stuff. I would literally, for Lando's ASVAB videos, I went to, I think, Walmart and I got me a college rule book. I would literally watch the videos and then write the videos, like literally step by step in how he was teaching the videos. And I would just change the numbers in it. And I would say, all right, Susie, if his video was like a random other number, I would say on my paper, on the little college rule book paper that I had, Susie had 28. On his video, Susie had 30. Okay. It's the same questions, just different numbers I would use. And while I'm like doing that, I would literally watch the video, but the numbers that I pick would be a number for me to be able to figure out the answer at the end. And I would just constantly just do it and memorize the formulas and still write it on my paper. When it came to um, the paragraph, I like to read, so that kind of helped me out on the reading portion. When it came to work knowledge, if you go on Quizlet, beautiful Quizlet, there's so much people out there that studies for the ASVAB. So I would literally just go on there and just practice vocabs. And I kid you not, most of those words were on the test. Okay. I don't have the Quizlet no more. So I know you guys are gonna probably ask me, oh, which Quizlet? Like, I don't know. I just literally was just like, I never study off of a book. Like, I know the ASVAB for dummies is like, oh, it's the ASVAB for dummies. Like, you're not a dummy because you're using it. I personally probably only use books for like practice tests, but I never used it to sit there and like study. Like, I couldn't do it. I'm more of a visualized person. So you have to figure out what you're good at. Are you hands-on? Are you good at just seeing it in front of you and able to like execute it? Or are you good with someone showing you how to do it and then you do it? I'm more of like, okay, put the problem on the board, explain it, and then allow me to execute it. But if you're just saying, hey, go on the board and solve this problem, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So that was another tip that helped me out. And what are some other questions that you guys asked about? Science. I just did my best at science. Like, I just watched a few educational science shows and I just did my best. When it came to AR, I would say the tutor that I used for it was Fernando. I used him for like most of all like the tests. Both tutors are good. Um, I would say if I had a chance and stuff and not being able to pick like both of the tutors, I would probably go with Fernando and stuff. But I did like the fact that Andy ASVAB had his own books and he upgrades it like every so and so or whatever time frame. But I would say if you're looking for a great tutor and you want to apply yourself, you are going to have to make the sacrifices and figure out what you want. Do you want just only friends, or do you want friends with careers? Like, not saying like friends with careers that came out bad. Do you want friends, or do you want a career that you can build friendship in the career? Okay, I went with a career, and on top of that, I have great battle buddies inside the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, like whatever branch you guys have and stuff. Definitely take the time to figure out the branches that you want to go to. I picked the Army because I wanted to be in the Army, not only because I have family in the Army, but that's where I saw my career path that I wanted to take was being in the Army. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below and I will make another video. And I will even, if you guys want to go over some questions of what you might see on the test or whatever questions, you guys put the questions down below. Ask the questions you guys want. I am here to help you guys out, okay? And this is Sergeant Voltaire, and I am out.